Hi there, this is Savage Slayer doing a how to repair Marvel Legends Classic Spider-Man. Okay, this is my toy repair kit, so I've made my own little customizing repair kit for like repairing toys, action figures and stuff like that. There's a number of figures that I need to repair for my son. Or toys as well, purely because some of the toys I've given him at the time were out of his age, such as this Marvel Legends Spiderman. I think I gave it to him when he was about 4 years old. So like the simple things that are easy to break, like his hand, wrist area has easily broken. Now with these action figures, they're like there are methods of repairing them, and one of the ways I like to do is to either create a pin and replace an existing one if it's a joint that's gone, like an elbow or knee. Usually it's going to be a knee. Fortunately, a lot of shoulders, very hard to pop in and replace or fix, but I'll go through those in other videos. Right, this one here is one that I kind of started to prepare beforehand, purely because it's a bit time consuming, at times drilling a small hole into joints such as the wrist. As you can see, there's one I've pre-made earlier. This one here I've actually drilled into the original pin where it snapped, and once again right there. That's a simple method I use, and the method I use, I tend to use these small screwdrivers. I've got a whole set here, and it'll be usually the flathead, not the cross. Flatheads are usually very sharp, and you use a small one, and what you can do is you can bore a hole right into it there. I tend to use different types of glues for different types of joints or different causes. This one here is your standard Loctite super glue. It's decent for permanent holding, for small joints and stuff like that. This one here I used for other things. This particular glue is used for like flat edges where I've like kind of sanded down to make it rough so it'd stick better, and that I've used those for like the 3 3/4 inch figures where the joints like break, because they're so small. Sometimes putting a pin in there not such a good idea. Other figures I've repaired is like Marvel Legends Ultimate Rhino. There was a knee ankle joint that went, and I replaced that using the thicker end of a toothpick, such as this, and I may even show the result of that in a later stage. So I used like towards the middle, but not so much the middle, more like the end without the small thin part, and I used glue to set it in, and it's this glue here, the Yoo-hoo glue, and that's awesome because it adds a little bit of friction to the middle of it, so it's no longer loose, so the joint won't spin around aimlessly if the replacement pin is too loose. And what it'll do is it would also hold it in place as forming a little barrier between like the joints, so it'll form a barrier around there, and so it wouldn't fall out. So that's a little quick tip there for you. Okay, with this one I'm just going to cut down a piece of wire, because I tried using a bit of toothpick, but it's too fine and it'll snap. So I'm just going to get possibly a piece of this thick cable tie, and we're going to use that as the joint to go in there, and I'll cut it down using my trusty pliers right here. So yeah, I'm just going to pause this so I can use my other hand. Alright, stay tuned. Right, hey there. Okay, so I've pre-cut the length of wire. This cable tie I've used is actually a medium size thickness, opposed the section of it is actually a lot more thin. It's like half the size of the one I just showed earlier, just to make sure one that actually fits. As you can see here, I've pre-cut it a little bit long, and there's a reason for that. It's just so you can measure how long it is within the actual forearm that you've bored into, you've drilled, hand drilled, and into the hand as well. So as you can see, there's a little bit extra length, and that can always actually be cut down. So with that, it's a good experience. You know, some good experience I've had to just pre-cut that just to see how long I'll need the length. And at this stage, you can then tell, you know, what kind of joint you'd want. You know, do you want it flexible and moving so you can do articulate and still have some articulation? It just means you wouldn't glue it in. But as it's for an 8-year-old, my son's gonna need it probably fastened in, otherwise he will lose that hand. So hey, just showing you that. I'm gonna now pause this and pre-cut it, so see you in a bit. Hey, we're back, right, and there we have it, the finished joint. Can make it a little bit more cleaner if you wish, but I decided to leave a little bit of length there. And not only that, I only glued it where the hand is, as I use that Loctite. It's just so you can still articulation. I'm going to give it a go, see if my son can get on with actually not losing it. But I think that may work. I can see it's coming out a little bit, so that might not be a good idea. I may just glue that in then. But that's how to repair your Marvel Legends Spiderman Classic. There you go. Can make it a little bit neater and just push that in a little bit more. Okay. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and check out my other vids. Bye.